Hello everyone, welcome to Sarah Be Too Good, where we learn to be too good, to ourselves. I want to thank you guys for joining and watching this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, a like this video, and share this video with 5 people that you know. Sarah Be Too Good is a safe place where we learn to be too good to ourselves. And when I share information that I have personally walked through myself. And if it has helped me, then of course I'm going to share the love and I'm going to bring it to you and share it with you. And so one of the things that was a struggle for me was focusing on myself. As a mom, most of my life I was a single mom, and I had, grown accustomed to my entire life being centered around my children. Although at the time I've had different degrees at the time, but I intentionally sought after jobs that would allow me to be a mom. For example, I have a 2-year degree. I have an associate's degree as a legal assistant, and I've never used it. And I had interviewed, there was one interviewed, and I really wanted the job, but at the time they wanted me to work 60 hours a week. And as a single mom, I wasn't willing to compromise that. I wasn't. And so that's a lot to work 60 hours a week. Even if you're not a single parent, 60 hours a week is still a lot when you are a parent, especially a mom. And so I declined that job, and I intentionally sought for positions that would allow me to be a mom, to be present for my kids. And so I had just gotten accustomed to that. And so here we are, years later, and now I'm an empty nester, and, the dynamics of my family unit has just changed drastically. It just changed drastically. And so to the point that I found myself just giving and pouring until my cup was empty. And when my cup was empty, I'm going to tell you how I knew my cup was empty. I had to take a leave of absence from my job. I could not wait until they processed my request. I couldn't wait. My leave of absence it started immediately. And so it was denied, and of course I appealed it, and then it was overturned, and my request for a leave of absence was overturned, and it was approved. And of course that went and paid me back that money. And so that was the first indication that my cup was just depleted. And actually my cup was depleted before then, but it took the manifestation of me taking a leave of absence. It took that manifestation for me to realize that my cup was just empty. And so I kept giving. And even after that moment where I took my first leave of absence, I still continue to give and pour. And I'm just drained. I'm tapped out. And so here I am in this new place, this new season. Again, the dynamics of my family has just drastically changed. And now I didn't realize how big of a struggle it was for me to focus on myself. And so I want to share with you some things that you can do to focus on yourself, and benchmarkers to let you know on whether or not if you are focusing on yourself. And so whatever things that you wanted to do back then, or even things that you desire to do now, any interest that you have now, that's a perfect time to do it during this time that you're focusing on yourself. Because you have poured from an empty cup, I would suggest that you refrain from volunteering in any capacity, because your cup is empty. You have to replenish you. And although it's a good deed to show up for others and to volunteer, but you're only as good as, you know, how full your cup is. And so take this time and don't pour up yourself at all, because you have to be replenished. Okay? If you are confused, if you're not sure of what to do, if you find yourself continuing, you know, to concern yourself about things that really are none of your business anymore, because this new space that you're in, that's an indication that it's a struggle for you. That is a struggle for you. Find some interest. Find some interest that you have, that you currently have. Learn a new skill, because when you begin to develop new skills, when you begin to develop a new interest or pursue new interest, that's going to take up so much of your time. You're not going to really have time to focus on anybody else, especially focusing on things or people that do not replenish you, that do not fill your cup up. And so, yes, this is a season that you have to be selfish. This is a season, it's a season for you to be selfish. And so again, if you find yourself, you know, constantly doing or being concerned about matters that are none of your business, that's an indication you have too much time on your hand. And so I want to encourage you to remove some of the things off of your plate. If it doesn't bring you satisfaction, if it doesn't bring you fulfillment, and it only has to benefit you, it only benefits you. If it benefits someone else, take that off your plate. Because this is a season where you're focusing on yourself. And as long as you're giving to others, you can't focus on yourself. You know, I found myself, you know, in that space of giving. I found myself when I told a lie. I told a lie for someone. And there's no reason, there's never a good reason to tell a lie. But I told a lie for a good cause, and it backfired in my face. And so we can find ourselves giving, and we don't realize how much we're giving. And so just hit a pause. It's okay to focus on yourself in this season. And so, again, we share Sarah Be Too Good. This is a safe space where we learn to be too good to ourselves. And until next time, I love you. And don't forget, focus on your